No,
Yeah,
actually,
they-
just.
some type of,
Oh, okay.
I saw it in the, I can't remember what it was.
The lawyer thing. What was that last one?
1 minute to the chair.
I think reading or something on the song, it's called.
This is also, 6 o'clock.
I got 6. You ready?
Yeah, let me get a paper.
What kind?
Noting up here, go ahead.
No, go get a paper. What do you want?
We got this
Okay.
one.
Here, it's coming up, yeah.
Okay.
I got it, thank you.
Okay, all right.
I'd like to call this meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Chan,
Here.
Councilmember Davies,
Here,
Councilmember Smith,
Here,
Mayor Pro Tem Power,
Here?
and Mayor Pokencourt.
Here.
Everyone's present, thank you.
All right, we have Pastor Chris Sparling. We'll give our invocation.
Is this the right place to stand?
Anywhere you like.
Anywhere.
All right. Hey, so I did want to share something before I do. You know that I've lived here for 33 years?
Have you beat?
Yeah.
Way to go.
Well, I know, but for my entire adult life, I've lived in the city limits of Tehachapi. So I wanted to share that because I'm thankful for what you guys do. I really am. So this is a wonderful pleasure and an honor. So let's pray. Father, we thank you. We're thankful that we can come to you in prayer. In a city council meeting, Lord, sometimes when you see what's going on in our nation, you wonder how it is that you are not always invited to these types of things. And Father, we need your wisdom. We need your discernment. Lord, we need your guidance. And Lord, there's city business to be tended to. These folks have been voted into office by the people of Tehachapi to lead. And Lord, they know that while they lead, Lord, they follow an ultimate leader, which is you. And so I pray, Lord, that you would give them all the knowledge, wisdom, and discernment that they need to make sound decisions that are wise, Lord, that bring honor and glory to you, and Lord, that are fair and just in measure. And Father, we just give this night to you. So we pray all these things in the precious name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen. Yes.
We'll have the pledge, Bill.
Salute, pledge. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, you may be seated. Okay, community engagement reports, Commander Key.
Good evening, Mayor Pokencourt, Council. It is both a great pleasure, but it's also a little sad. Sorry. We're going to miss you. Our first thing that we're going to do is we want to recognize an incredible career of someone from the county of Kern that has impacted us locally. Georgiana Armstrong has served as the Kern County Emergency Services Manager since 2003. During her tenure, she's been a dependable leader in emergency management, coordination, and preparedness across Kern County. Ms. Armstrong has facilitated emergency training for local public safety agencies, including ours, coordinated grant programs, which we've benefited from, and overseen compliance with FEMA, IPAWS, and Cal OES requirements. She's been instrumental in establishing mutual aid agreements and is often one of the first to check in on the needs of local jurisdictions. And I can tell you that when we've had fires, we've had floods, we've also had the PSPS. Gio would not only email, but she would text me and say, Key, what do you guys need in Tehachapi? That's who she is. She's also guided Kern County's efforts to update multi-jurisdiction hazard mitigation plan every 5 years, focusing on proactive measures to reduce the impacts of future disasters. Throughout multiple disaster events, she's served as a local lead in emergency management exercises, plan updates, and administrative of the Homeland Security Grant Program while managing the Kern County EOC. And I'd like to invite Chief Richard Sanders to join me.
First off, I'd like to say thank you, Gio. When I first met Gio a little over 2 years ago when I first got here, it was during the big storm and the flood and everything that was coming down, and I'm kinda like, oh my God, what do? I hadn't made any contacts with anybody in Kern County yet, and my phone rings, and it's her on the phone. And she's kinda telling me what resources are available and who to call if I need anything, and it was her who would help me. And you know, that's important, especially for police. Over the last few years, probably 10, you know, we've gotten more involved in EOC and working with, you know, our other partners, fire, Caltrans and those things, but prior to that, it wasn't happening. And it's folks like Gio that have been instrumental in making that happen. And you know, most recently, and I wanna tell her thank you on behalf of the Kern County Chiefs Association for helping us get an issue rectified as it related to grant funding and our ability to obtain funds through both federal and state means in conjunction with the county. She was instrumental in smoothing a pathway that's gonna be forged in the future that'll allow us to continue to do business and get the things that we need. So Gio, I just wanted to say thank you, and we're gonna miss you. I was hoping when you got that solved, you were gonna say, no, I'm not retiring, but I don't blame you. You know, we're all gonna be there someday when you reach the point you've earned it, so thank you.
And before I invite Gio to come up, Tori, I've got one more message for you.
Good evening, Mayor Pogencourt and Tehachapi City Council members. I apologize again for not being at the City Council meeting tonight, but as you know, Ashley Whitmore, our airport manager, and I are at the annual ACA conference. And as you know, it was very beneficial. We just wrapped up a $7 million enhancement project at the airport, and airports are not just used for general aviation, different commercial operations, but also emergency operations, which brings me to the video. I wanted to personally thank Georgiana Armstrong, or Gio, as I know her. Gio and I have worked together for 21 years. She's been at the helm of Kern County's Emergency Operations Center, EOC, and she's done a marvelous job. We're tonight honoring her and thanking her for her years of service. Behind the scenes, just doing so much heavy lifting, all the grants when it comes to state, federal, and other agencies. But also, you may recall that Gio was the driving force behind the mutual aid contracts or agreements that we put together. So the County of Kern, all of the 11 cities in the county, and even the CSDs. So we have a mutual aid agreement that allows us, in the event of an emergency, to be able to share resources, get reimbursed, all those sorts of things. And that's just one thing, just a tip of the iceberg. So again, Gio, thank you for all of your years of service. We will miss you dearly, and we appreciate everything you've done for the County of Kern and this entire region. And Godspeed and wherever you may end up in the future. So thank you very much and have a good night.
Gio, would you mind coming up?
I would just like to say thank you for this recognition. I have enjoyed my career with the County of Kern, and for the Office of Emergency Services, our mission is what we call operational area. So while we may be Kern County Fire employees, our concern is not necessarily the county, and it's not necessarily fire. It's operational area, meaning the county, the cities, and all first responder disciplines. It's been a pleasure to work with the city of Tehachapi, and I'm grateful for this. Thank you so much.
Mayor Pogencourt, would you mind coming forward?
Yeah, that's perfect. Okay. And you've read this already, haven't you?
Yes.
Okay, so we don't have to do that.
Yeah, we've got some couple of photos that we'll start with Maya right here.
All right. Do you want to hold?
Hold it the other way.
There you
And
go.
push this back, or,
Yeah.
yeah, okay. Gotta get the right thing here.
Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Okay. So we tap it in the middle. And then for tap.
Kinda like on a merry-go-round. Okay, thank you for all your service.
Thank you. I appreciate this. It
Oh.
has been a pleasure.
Aw.
bittersweet. Happy for her, but disappointed. Where do we go from here, Gio?
Onward and upward.
There we go,
There
okay.
you go.
Always the optimist. And with that, we want to transition. We've got another proclamation. It is Hunger Action Month. We have our friends from CAPK, the Community Action Partners of Kern. They're here. Before we invite them to come forward, we have a video. Tori, if you don't mind.
Right now, families in our community are going hungry. Not next week, not next month, today. Mothers skipping meals so their kids can eat. Seniors choosing between medication and groceries. Children going to bed without dinner. This is happening, and it's happening here. At the Capke Food Bank, we're doing everything we can to meet the need. We're distributing food across Kern County every single day. But it's not enough. Our shelves are thinning, our funding is drying up, the need is growing. Federal and state support has been cut. Since 2020, we have been stretched to the limit. We have the trucks, we have the warehouse, we have the team. But without immediate support, we won't be able to keep up.
I do think this community is gonna take a hit from the funding cuts. We're already seeing it in the community food giveaways. There's a lot of young people out there that can physically go and work, but these seniors, they need it the most.
We rely on the partnership, and if it can go, it'd be like going back to COVID. And just to be honest, right now, you guys are in need of donations. Telling the community that whatever they can do to stand up and speak up and partner, if it's volunteering, if it's through donations, you guys have been very, very instrumental in helping organizations across Kern County.
Working in the field and everything is so expensive now. So this is a big help for us.
Everybody's struggling. It's not only me. It would be kind of hard for us, you know, not to have this kind of stuff. So I hope they won't stop it.
The partnership with CAPK in our pantry has just excelled our growth and allowed us to serve many more folks than we ever could have imagined. We've been able to not only expand our services, but expand our space to access refrigerators and freezers that we could have never purchased before.
We're not just funding programs, we're funding students, and we're funding educations, and we're funding the future.
Food insecurity with students, it's very real and it exists every day. Sometimes it's the difference in whether or not a student can attend class that day.
Sometimes the only fruits or vegetables or actual nutrient balanced food that students get is from the food pantry. And without it, I feel like a lot of students would be impacted.
When I start seeing kids come over here and start putting bread in their pockets, and then, you know, we hear that they sell their EBT cards, they're gonna do what they can to provide for their families, you know, because I know that they ain't got food, no telling what's gonna happen, you know.
These aren't strangers. These are your neighbors. The single mom you see at school pickup, the veteran down the street, the family working 2 jobs who just can't keep up with rising costs. They need food, they need hope, and they need it now.
That pain is very vital to our community, and it's really needed. It's really needed in our community, and as you know, it's a priority.
People is trying to change their lives. You know, it's more than just that little help that I thought I could get. I can see how people walk away with a smile, you know, happy. You know, it's like something big happened for the day. It touches your heart.
Just $25 can feed a family for an entire week. Maybe the only meal they get. This is not a future problem. It's not a someday problem. It's a right now problem. And you can be the solution. Please go to capk.org or call now. Make a donation, fill a fridge, feed a child. Be the reason a family eats tonight.
And CAPK now has an office in Tehachapi across from City Hall. They have a footprint here. And been supportive of the Salvation Army here locally, among other programs. So with September being Hunger Action Month, we ask Mayor Pro Tem Court Council to recognize Hunger Action Month here at Tehachapi, highlighting the need to raise awareness and support efforts to fight hunger. By adopting this proclamation, the city of Tehachapi will join other jurisdictions across Kern County and the nation in recognizing the importance of fighting hunger and supporting vulnerable members of our community. I'd like to invite our friends from CAPK to come forward.
Good evening, council members and community members. My name is Tiana Mitchell. I'm an Outreach and Communication Supervisor with Community Action Partnership, or CAPK. At CAPK, we are Kern County's official anti-poverty agency and part of a nationwide network of over 1,000 community action agencies. Our mission is to provide and advocate for resources that empower individuals and families to become self-sufficient. CAPK has been serving Kern County for over 60 years, providing programs that address food insecurity, early childhood education, energy assistance, housing, and other essential needs. We are deeply rooted in the community and committed to helping people and changing lives every day. We are thankful that you all have decided to honor us with the recognition of Hunger Action Month. I am joined tonight by my colleague, Kelly Lowry, to show more information about how Hunger Action Month is impacting the city of Tehachapi.
Good evening, friends. I would normally not come before the city council wearing a t-shirt, but this is Hunger Action Month, and this is our official orange is the color of Hunger Action Month, and so I don't have a lot of orange in my wardrobe except for this t-shirt, so bear with me. This is my Hunger Fighting shirt. I've worn it, what's today, the 15th? I've worn it for 15 days, and I'm gonna go home and watch it tonight, so I can wear it again tomorrow. But I want to thank you for recognizing September as Hunger Action Month, and I'm here on behalf of the food bank to share how this community is stepping up to fight hunger every day. You know, there's been a lot of talk about CAPK in the video and in introducing us, but the reality is that we couldn't do the work that we do without great partners in every single community. You know, I stand before you believing with everything that's within me that we can actually be the first county in America to fully address food insecurity. I know it, I have a plan for it as the food bank administrator, and the way I know it happens is by fully addressing food insecurity in every jurisdiction, in every community. And to that end, we have great partners right here in Tehachapi, and I want to just highlight those partners that we have, which is St. Malachi Conference of St. Vincent de Paul, the Salvation Army of Tehachapi, and the Stallion Springs Church. We also do CSFP distributions here, which is our senior food box program. And these partners that we have, in fact, I think Tom's here from the church, we couldn't do what we do of distributing 22.5 million pounds of food across the county without these great partners. So while you recognize CAPK and you recognize Hunger Action Month, I know you'll join with me in recognizing these organizations, which are really the hands and the hearts behind the work that we do. You know, it's real easy to just talk about how long the lines are and to talk about the need, right? But more than that, I want to tell you just in the 8 months of this year, what we've already done together. So in the first 8 months of 2025, right here at Tehachapi, we've distributed more than 413,000 pounds of food right here in this community. And that's an average of nearly 52,000 pounds of food that are coming up the hill and being distributed right here in your community every single month. And that includes approximately 100 senior food boxes, meaning that there's 100 senior citizens every single month that rely on a senior food box that's provided from our CAPK warehouse. Based on Tehachapi's population and estimated food insecurity rate of about 15%, which is the average in our county, this means that we're not just meeting the need, together we're actually exceeding the need. Because when you do the math, it comes out to a number less than 52,000 pounds is what the need is. When you take the food insecurity rate, multiply it by the population of Tehachapi of a little over 11,000 people, it comes out to about 1,600, 1,800 people. You multiply that by our goal, which is to provide at least 20 pounds of food to every food insecure person, That's a little over 33,000 pounds, and right now, we're distributing well over 52,000 pounds every single month. Unfortunately, that's not the reality in every jurisdiction, in every community. Some communities are facing a gap that's in the other direction, and we're doing the best that we can at the food bank to find additional resources. But hunger is a challenge that requires all of us, and while the need remains steady, our funding sources are often unstable. That's why the community support is so important, especially during Hunger Action Month, and there's a lot of ways to get involved, and Town is going to come back and tell you about a couple of them, but one of them I want to say is support the work that we're doing by just making a donation. We have an Apple wall in our food bank where we proudly display the individuals and the people that are able to make a contribution to the food bank. It's a wall made of cans, of red cans, and we put people's names on it. So sponsor a can at our food bank by going to capkfoundation.org and making a donation as small as $100. We'll put your name on that wall. Organizing a volunteer day at the food bank. We'd love to have the council or any organizations or churches from Tehachapi come down and spend a morning filling food boxes at the food bank. Or next week at the fair on Tuesday the 23rd, we have our one of our biggest food drives of the year at the fair, where you get in for free if you just bring 6 cans of food. They let you right in the door for free, 6 cans of food. So it's we usually bring in tens of thousands of pounds of food that day that we redistribute to our friends in the community facing food insecurity. But Hunger Action Month it's not just about awareness, it's about action. And Tehachapi is showing what action looks like. And so on behalf of the families whose tables are fuller in this community, because of this partnership that we have in your community with these great organizations that I mentioned earlier, thank you for turning hunger into hope. Not just in the Hunger Action Month of September, but all year long. Thank you.
As Kelly mentioned, we are hosting several events throughout this month in our fight against hunger. And the last 2 that we have, as Kelly mentioned, was the Feed the Need. You can also volunteer with us to be a part of the opportunity to, bring in those goods. And that event is September 23rd. It's from 4 to 9 o'clock. And then we have our Community Box Building Day this Saturday, and that's September 20th, and that's from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. You can register with me, or you can email me at tmitchell@capk.org. I would love to get you guys signed up. We're gonna have snacks, we play music, we have teens, we have young kids coming from the Art Institute, so we bring the whole community together, you bring your family, and it turns out to be a really great event, and you're making a huge impact. You're contributing to that 22 million pounds of food that's being delivered to the community.
Mayor Hogan Court, invite you to come forward. So the heater kicks on. Okay. Is it a trade deal?
Yeah. There you go, it's a trade deal. Okay, and I'm proud to be a member of St. Malachi's.
Yeah.
And I work at the church on Fridays, and it's packed with people coming for goods. Except for last Friday, it was kind of, I was going, something's going on here. But anyway.
Pogi's also a member of the prison ministry, so she gives and gives and gives.
Oh, thank you. Okay. The City Council proclaims Hunger Action Month. Whereas hunger affects families and individuals throughout Kern County, including residents of Tehachapi, and whereas Community Action Partnership of Kern, CAPK, operates the county's largest food bank, distributing more than 22 million pounds of food in 2024 and serving over 200,000 food insecure individuals. And whereas Hunger Action Month is a time to raise awareness and encourage community action to ensure no one faces hunger alone. Now, therefore, I, Joan Pogan-Court, Tehachapi City Mayor, proclaim September 2025 as Hunger Action Month in Tehachapi and urge all residents to join in the effort to fight hunger in our community. Thank you.
Thanks, appreciate it.
we'll start with Pat. We'll go in reverse order this time. Start with Pat. Patrick.
And Patrick, there we go. Maya. And Tiana. Oh, whoops, we gotta go the other way.
I'm gonna do one more, just a little bit closer. Perfect, thank you.
And I've also noticed on television, there's quite a bit of advertising going on for Cap K these days, so.
Thank
I'm
you so
very
much.
aware. Oh, thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, a consent agenda. All items listed with an asterisk are considered to be routine and non-controversial by city staff. Consent items will be considered first and may be approved by one motion if no member of the council or audience wishes to comment or ask questions. If comment or discussion is desired by anyone, the item will be removed from the consent agenda and will be considered in listed sequence with an opportunity for any member of the public to address the city council concerning the item before action is taken. Staff recommendations are shown in caps. Okay, do I have a,
Want to ask if they would like to?
do I have any public comments or wishes to take something off the agenda? Council?
Motion to approve.
Second?
Chung?
Yes.
Davies?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
Howard?
Yes.
And Pogo-Court?
Yes.
So 5-0 vote to approve the consent agenda.
Mayor Pogencourt, if I may, Claire Scotty, the director of the chamber, was planning on making, she wanted to thank the council and city for its support. Her baby's sick at home, so she texted me and asked if I would pass that along, just to thank you for the continued support by the city, police department, public works, my department, throughout the year, which will happen again this weekend with Thunder on the Mountain.
Thank you. Okay, city clerk report, Dawn Marsh?
Any public comments?
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought we were already there. Okay, public comment, audience, public, okay, council?
Yeah, I'd just like to make a statement, and I'm not making a fashion statement tonight, but I had cataract surgery and these lights are too bright. So apologize for the sunglasses, but I'm trying to keep my eyes going here. I didn't have any, well, I just wanted to say, Cap K, I've been working with Cap K, I'm sorry they left. I work with the Just Serve program through the Church of Jesus Christ Latter-day Saints, and I've been working with them down in Bakersfield, trying to get that up here. And so we're working on that too, so, but I think it's a great organization.
And just recently, like I said, they're getting quite a bit of advertisement on TV, so they're doing great work, and we appreciate it. Okay, now city clerk.
We're gonna go to airport manager, which I think our development services director is standing in.
Yes, you may
guys are
notice
throwing
I
it
am
off.
not Ashley Whitmore.
Kinda look like her.
As Greg mentioned earlier, Ashley's at the airport conference and asked me to fill in for her. So the item I have before you tonight is for the Southwest Diagonal Taxi Lane Reconstruction Project. Actually jives well because it's both the engineering and airport, so it could easily be under engineering department. But back in 2015, the city was awarded a grant to basically rebuild the diagonal taxiway, and that included tearing up the asphalt and redoing it, as well as the center V gutter. The project was designed and advertised for bid, however, it was never awarded. The construction was never awarded due to some of the airport tenants not in support of the project. They had some concerns over the timing and a few other things. So as a result, the project was canceled. At that time, the pavement condition index was at a 22, which is basically failed, and that was the lowest part of the lowest quality asphalt within the airport. That was, again, back in 2012 when they did the last payments survey. 13 years later, the asphalt hasn't gotten any better miraculously. I don't understand how it hasn't healed itself. But recognizing this, staff and a group of current tenants have acknowledged the need for the project to move forward. Because the original design is now quite old, 10 years old, so to speak, or at least 10, 15 years old, the design needs to be updated and brought up to the current FAA standards, because there's constantly changing their design standards and requirements for things. So based on this, staff has submitted an application to the FAA for design funding, which has now been awarded with a construction grant to be anticipated in the following year. So we expect to get this initial grant to pay for the engineering design, and then we'll get another grant later to pay for the construction. So the project scope includes removal and reconstruction of the asphalt pavement, installation of V-gutter down the middle, and improvements to some of the other drainage in the area as well. Associated pavement markings, striping for the taxiway, some grading on the shoulders, and environmental review. This grant is specifically for the design phase only. The project will be funded through the FAA's Building Infrastructure and Land Program, BIL. That is not part of the typical airport improvement program grants that we have gotten in the past. This is a separate FAA funding program. You can see the breakdown there. There is a 5% match, which adds up to about $8,000 from the city, and the total cost is $163,400. So staff's recommendation is you approve the grant agreement 3-06-0253-025-2025 between the City of Tehachapi and the Federal Aviation Administration for the reconstruction of the southwest taxi lane pavement design phase, and authorize the airport manager, city manager, and city attorney to sign. I would be happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Do I have any questions from the public? Council?
I have a question. So, that was back in 2015, I believe that's what I read.
Yes.
I remember. You know, it was very unfortunate that we had to give up on that grant. So my question is, because of we didn't do it back then, did we have to increase the scope of project, scope of work?
Actually, yeah, if you could go back to the map, there is, the scope has expanded slightly. I believe before it only went to the end of the hangars on the left-hand side there, and then the end of the double row of hangars on the right-hand side. So this part has been added, and then this little part here has been added. So there is a slightly more scope than there was previously.
What's the standard PCI for an airport of this size?
I don't know on
Just to give us a
airports,
scope.
honestly. I mean, I can tell you our streets are, if it's at 65, that is terrible.
Huh.
So our goal is to have everything on the street side over 70. Yeah.
Okay.
So.
It's the pavement condition index.
Thank you. Okay, any more questions?
Well, it was a good project back then.
You approved it once, so.
And it's an appropriate project again. Those funds had to go back, correct?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, just, they went to another agency or another airport or something?
Yeah.
So,
Went back into
I'm
the
glad that our current tenants appreciate the funding put out there and the grant that was made available through the City of Tehachapi.
Yeah.
For their benefit, yes.
Okay, anything else? Do I have a motion?
I'll second it.
Chun? Yes. Davies?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
Auer?
Yes.
And Pockencourt?
Yes.
It's a 5-0 vote to approve.
Okay, and Don, and Mr. Marshall's still up.
All right.
Okay.
And I'm not Andrew Norton tonight. He would
Multiple
normally be up
personnel.
here. So, it's my pleasure to bring the next item to you. It's the notice of completion for the 2025 street rehabilitation project. It's just information only, but as you know, we entered into a contract with West Rock LLC for the construction of the 2025 street rehabilitation project. Following a walkthrough on every one of those streets, believe it or not, that was a couple days of good walking that the engineering department had. We did inspection of all of the scope and have determined that all contract items have been complete. And at this time, notice of completion must be filed in order to close the contract, which again, this is for informational only, and there has been the notice of completion filed. So, but I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Do I have any questions from the public? Council?
So it looks like most of the alleys now are done from the grindings that we've used from the street projects.
Yeah, everything that we've determined that needed to be done was done. Excuse me. So yeah, everything's in pretty good shape. That doesn't mean that there won't be more to do next year.
Sure.
But as of right now, yeah, everything that needed to be done is done. So for alleys, there's still more streets that need to be
Yes,
done, obviously.
but we're catching up versus just put a Band-Aid on what we could because of funding, so.
No, we're making great progress.
And it shows, yeah.
I don't know if I mentioned this at one of the other meetings, but I did do an update to our pavement condition index. And we have a contractor do that work for us. They actually have an AI software that they use where they basically drive the road. They drive every street, and then they have software that takes the video from that and converts it into a pavement condition index and gives you all the different, hey, there's a pothole here. It's on a map similar to what you see there. And the day after they did the drive, the rep that I deal with, he's back in Indiana, I think. He called me. He said, "Hey, what are you guys doing?" He said, "You've been busy," because it's been 2 years since they did it last. And he said, "You guys have been very busy." And I said, "Yes, we have." And he said, "Well, you should be proud of what you've done, because I never see that kind of improvement from over 2 years."
Yeah.
So that was a very nice compliment.
Okay, anybody else?
Yeah, I am. I just want to make a little comment that I am so proud of our city and our staff to be able to do such project, because a lot of streets are very neglected. If we don't have our own, additional tax money, there's no way we could perform that, because been there, done that, try to squeeze money out of our general fund was not easy. And so, just like you said, I'm very proud.
Yeah, we're very fortunate.
This is an awesome project.
Thank you.
Thanks to our residents for passing Measure S.
That's absolutely, we couldn't do without that.
I can tell you, riding my scooter around town, it's a lot smoother.
Well, even my
Some
car
of these
thing,
streets
yeah.
are, you really feel it, you don't feel as much in the car, but you do on the scooter. And I'll tell you what, some of these streets are just a blessing. They're very, very well done.
One other, I'm sorry, did you
Go ahead,
finish?
I'm done.
One other thing, do we have on our website what the future streets will be? Because people are asking, when's my street gonna be done?
No, we don't.
No, we don't, okay. But they're also very
that's on
pleased
purpose.
with the progress, and I just tell them, it's the worst streets first, and if we pave, and we have good streets that we can maintain, not have them go into disrepair, we do those as well, so.
Right.
But everyone's gonna get a shot at this, so.
yeah, part of the reason why we don't publicize that is because, things change.
Sure.
And a lot of the times when we develop the scopes for these projects, and you've seen them here, when you award the project, that sometimes we bid more than we think we can afford just to be sure. You never know, we might get some really good pricing, and so we're able to do more than what we estimate. So we don't wanna give people, you know, the idea that this is set in stone, and then there ends up, their street doesn't get done, and they come back and say, hey, you said our street was gonna be done, and so, yeah.
Very good. And then the status of the project that we just approved for Valley?
Yeah, we're working through the contracts and getting scheduling set up and that kind of stuff, so I would expect in the next 3 to 4 weeks, the contractor will probably be getting started.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay, anything else? Okay.
Motion to approve.
Well, there's a recommendation only.
Thank you.
Information.
All right. I'll just approve it anyway.
There you go.
We all approve.
Oh, this is completion, correct?
Yeah, this is notice of completion.
Yeah.
Are you ready for the next item?
Yep.
Okay, so the next item is the Warrior Park exercise equipment. Again, you may recall that the city entered into a contract with Great Western Installations for the construction of the Warrior Park exercise equipment project. This project, if you recall, was to, we received some exercise equipment donated to us by TVRPD, and that had been not used for several years. They donated that to us, and we installed those in 4 different locations around the loop there at Warrior Park. Really, if you haven't seen it, you should go by. It turned out fantastic. There is also a ribbon cutting next week. Wednesday, yeah. What time is it? 4 p.m. 4?
September 24th?
Correct. Yeah. So, if you haven't seen it by then, you need to come to the ribbon cutting and check it out. Turned out a really cool project. It really enhanced a lot. Lots of comments from people around the park saying that they loved it, they've been using it, and I went by there today and there's people on the equipment using it. So it's fantastic. So again, this is information only, but the notice of completion has been filed with the county recorder's office to close the contract, and staff has determined that all the contract items have been completed. But again, I would be happy to answer any questions that you might have.
I don't have a question, just a note. Since becoming a councilman, one of the things I've seen is how the city outreaches to do collaborations, and key, I think this is one of the collaborations with the Parks and Rec Department to really reach out to see how we can help each other, and this was created by that. So I want to say thank you, because those relationships are very important, and it serves our community well to do so.
That was on the 24th, next week?
Yes.
Right.
At 4. Yeah, I went by today to check it out and didn't quite know where everything was, so now I can go back and look again.
You need to just walk the loop.
I go, yeah, I know, have to get out and walk.
Is it?
Okay, any other questions? How about, okay, information only, all right.
Thank you.
You're down, kiddo. Chief, you're up.
All right, on this one, we're gonna get some money back.
Oh, good.
So, this is the agenda item to renew the contract for the school resource officer position. We meant to do it prior to the start of the school year, but with some issues with them getting it in front of their board and then us having a cancellation of a meeting and getting it in front of you, it's a little bit late, but nonetheless, we've still been working under the old contract and moving forward. This is just a formality to get it done tonight if you approve. So the Tehachapi Police Department currently provides 1 full-time school resource officer to the school district to assist the school and maintain a safe and inclusive environment on all campuses. The current contract expired with the 24-25 school year, which ended in May, but the contract actually expired in August because we're on a 10-month contract with the school district. So the The school board had to take it in front of their board first, approved an extension after we went through the funding aspect, and they have agreed to fund up to $140,000 a year with salary increases potentially based in there over the life of the contract. What is really most important about this contract, I would like to add, and it shows the commitment of the city of Tehachapi as well as the Unified School District, is we're no longer going to do 3-year or 2-year deals, we're gonna do 5 moving forward. And the big reason for this is because both boards have been committed to school safety. I'm committed to school safety as the chief. We all know the city manager and assistant city manager's feeling on that. And so we felt it was in the best interest to enter into contracts long-term. Mr. Schroeder has also reviewed this contract. He has found it satisfactory, and he even made some changes based on some current case law in regards to how we respond on liabilities, etc. And so I'm just asking council to, 1, hit me with any questions you might have related to this, and 2, authorize the mayor to join with me and execute this contract.
Okay. Public comments? Do I have any public comments? Council?
I have a question. Do you think the 5-year contract will help with continuity and performance, making sure there's more consistency, or instead of renegotiating it every 3 years?
It does, and especially over the last couple of years, they've had, some changes at their upper administration. So when Hojat Intezari and I got together, because he was actually doing the initial negotiations on this, and he reached out to me first, and which I thought was great, to get the school district to the table and get their take on it, and we started talking about a way to make it better. And in the past, it had been done for 2, and then it was done for 3, and we're like, let's just do 5. We're in this together. We're never gonna walk away from school safety. You're not gonna ask us to walk away from school safety. So in reality, a contract, in my opinion, is a mere formality of us executing an agreement to share responsibilities. And I will say, to the school district's credit, their willingness to fund this 100% is a fantastic gesture, and it has allowed us to work well together. I've had a couple of meetings with the new superintendent on some issues, and we share a like vision in what the safety should look like on campus. And the one where we are really in lockstep together is the school resource officer is a resource. He is not their cop, and I don't want it to be that way. He's on campus, he's in uniform to provide safety services if necessary, but mostly he is a resource to these children and to that staff. And that's the approach we're taking.
Is the 240,000, is that per year?
It's 140,000, no, it's up to. So it won't exceed 140,000 per year.
100, okay.
Yeah, and we're well below. Our award-winning finance director wasn't about to let me get ahead. So no, we're well within. We set it a little bit high, because sometimes you don't know if there's a change in position, somebody gets promoted or leaves, and you put another officer in there who may have a higher salary scale. So we made it to where we won't run into any issues or have to renegotiate. We're fine.
Thank you.
So, does this officer work every day?
Every day, Monday through Friday, and they also cover our overtime for events and functions. And
If he's out sick, do you have another officer that's
Yes,
trained
we're back.
to do that?
Yeah, we're back.
Okay.
So, according to the contract, it's a 10-month in a year.
Yeah.
So which month is not covered?
July, half of May, July, and the first part of August.
Okay.
It's kind of just like a teacher.
Summer month.
Yeah, basically
But
the same as a teacher.
I think I saw it somewhere that you do cover the summer school period.
Well, not really, only as needed.
Oh, as needed,
Yeah,
okay.
so initially they wanted it was in the old contract, but we kind of wanted to get away from that because they don't always need us. So it's an as needed. If they call us over, we'll go in and provide a service to them.
So that's gonna be on above and beyond the contract cost if we have to cover, right?
Yeah, but it hasn't been an issue. Their summer school's pretty well run.
Then I also saw there is a 5% inflationary increase.
Correct.
So that's an excellent idea.
We factored that in based on the last MOU with the POA to make
Very
sure we
great.
didn't exceed any costs.
Does this include extracurricular activity, games, or
That's
sporting
covered in here
events?
also, but the school resource officer doesn't work all of them because we would just burn that poor person out. So that covers like our reserve officers will go and work, or another officer.
That's
It's
what I
worked out
thought.
pretty well.
So does SRO mean, does he or she do like a preventive kind of, they do have an eye for the kids that who
They do.
might be in trouble and, okay, so.
They reach out and talk to them, and then there's actually some conversations about moving forward later on in the year with some anti-bullying, or next year, we gotta, it's funny in the education and the law enforcement world, how things change, like right now, the big emphasis is on school safety and weapons on campus, where 2 or 3 years ago was bullying, and now it's shifting towards like e-bike safety, and so we're trying to stay up with the times, and that's one of the things we're looking at later on in the year is, we're gonna send somebody to school, to be a, instructor in e-bikes and that law and policy, and then we're gonna translate that over to work with the school district and do some hands-on, training with parents and kids.
That's a
Just
good
little
idea.
comment.
That's great, thank you.
To comment that it's very unfortunate to consider, I mean, school, when my kids were growing, and, even I was growing, school is the second most safe place for kids to be in, next to their own home. But it's not that anymore, and it's so very sad.
I will say, for this school district to get on their campus, it's pretty tight. It's
Okay.
really good.
That's good to
I
hear.
commended them on that. I made a joke not too long ago, I went over to the office and I walk in and they don't see me all the time, checking my ID, making me stand to the side, and I'm like this, and my school resource officer comes in, they know him, he just walks right in, and I'm signing in, I'm like, I'm the boss, what do you make me sign?
That's a good thing.
That's a
But
good thing.
that
That's a very
showed
good thing.
that, they don't care who you are,
That's right.
he's the staff, not me, so, and I thought that was great, and
Very good.
I relayed that to the superintendent.
And there are imposters out there that would
That's right.
try that.
They do,
Unfortunately.
there are.
Yes.
Well, I think the conversations you're having with them are helpful. I noticed there's a crossing guard on Denison today, and I've never seen a crossing guard on that specific spot, so there's 2 crossing guards now.
I didn't know that, I
Yeah.
know there was some talk about some of the trouble intersections, but we do drive by and check on them periodically, and, actually, the complaints thus far have been down this year for, driving in the school zone, so let's hope it stays that way, and I think that'll directly relate to our proactivity out there in the mornings and our traffic enforcement.
Yeah, I drove by today and there was 2 crossing guards. One, I forget the road, but the other one was on Denison, and I haven't seen that before. And it was
Yeah,
fantastic. He was
that's
slowing
really-
traffic down.
Oh, good.
That's good.
The one was part of the project that we did
Oh,
where
was
we
it?
enhanced the crossing.
Disregard
That
my
was-
comment.
No, it is the school district.
It is?
There is a crossing guard there now. That was kind of part of the
It never has been.
discussion when we scoped out that project, that we would add that enhanced crossing and then they would put a crossing guard.
Very good.
Oh, perfect, perfect.
Because in my 40 years of being there, there was never a crossing guard on Denison, ever.
And traffic's pretty busy, so I
Yeah.
commend them for
So that's
putting
good.
somebody out there.
Yeah.
Well, and the
Yeah.
kids cross
They do.
while looking down and
They
going
do.
to their house.
They do.
That's what they do.
Okay.
Okay. Motion to approve
I'll second
memorandum
it.
of understanding.
Between
Chong?
Yes.
Davies?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
Howard?
Yes.
And Hogencourt.
Yes,
So 5-0 vote to approve.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
thank you. Okay, city manager would be Mr. Costello.
All right. Wanted to, the council's aware, but just wanted to mention this, we've had some staff updates here recently. So a few months back, we talked about Jay Schlosser, who became the executive director of the current council of governments. At the time, interim sort of roles were split. Don Marsh overseeing engineering and building, and myself overseeing planning. And so that change has been made permanent, and also Tyler Napier will be taking over as Public Works Director as well. So he couldn't be here tonight. He's watching his Raiders play the Chargers down in, I think they're in LA. So he's down in LA watching that game tonight. But definitely Tyler's done a great job with Public Works. Don, as you saw earlier, all the projects he oversaw this summer, and more to come, as he pointed out, Councilmember Smith. Fantastic job with that team. So that just to give everybody an update there. We've got our events this weekend that you all approved today. Obviously, Thunder on the Mountain with the Chamber of Commerce. I know Chief is already stressing about his police chief's trophy he has to award. So he's already stressing about walking that. What'd you say? You walked it like 3 times last year?
It took me 2.5 hours last year to pick somebody.
Yeah.
As it should, as it should.
Takes it seriously, that's good.
I made $100 though.
And Kids Day at the museum is on Sunday. That's a fantastic event as well, right there in front of the Heritage League Museum. Took my kids there last year. Just great history of Tehachapi, wildlife. You know, they get to go to the museum, scavenger hunt, that sort of thing. So it really gets them exposed to the history of Tehachapi, both the museum and the Urea House as well. We also have coffee with the mayor coming up on Thursday at Mountain House Coffee right here on Mill Street. Wanted to point out as well on the engineering side, we get audited regularly, whether it's financial or even on these projects, and Caltrans recently audited both the Denison project and Capitol Hills, and there were no findings in the audit, which is very rare. Sometimes they even say, like, we have to find something, guys, you know, just to justify our existence, but engineering team did a fantastic job. There's a lot of paperwork required in these Caltrans projects, and so everything was on the up and up, and Caltrans is very satisfied. You may have seen recently, very happy to see that Goodwill is coming in to take over a very large open retail segment of the Orchard Shopping Center where Family Dollar used to be. That closed after the merger with Dollar Tree, since we had both stores, and they consolidated a bit. So 7,000 square feet. And there was a great statement from Jake Slayton in Patrick's piece in the Tehachapi News. It's online now. It's also be in print Wednesday. But he said, witnessing Tehachapi as a community grow, seeing its culture develop in a positive way, watching how its city government is run, and observing the people of the area's focus on reinvesting in the place they live, he has high hopes for the new location. Even going as far as saying, usually people ask when we're opening, when can I shop? But everybody's asking, when can I donate here in Tehachapi? So they've been looking at this market for a long time, and this was the perfect opportunity for them. So we're very excited next couple of months to have them opening up. But it was just a great statement and really reflective of the council, the staff, and all our community volunteers we have here in the city. So that is it.
Okay, council member, the report, Mr. Davies,
I have nothing.
Ms. Hannah, do you have anything?
Yeah, I
Oh,
have
good.
all the confidence with these new directors. They'll do an awesome job, and I do trust that they're capable.
That makes one of us.
Well, you know.
Thank you.
You're bad.
Yes, City of Tehachapi
I
has
have
a
no
lot
problem.
of good talent.
I have all the faith in Don. We're talking about me here. Don and Tyler got it covered.
You'll be
I'm the
fine.
one you need to worry about.
I know how you
I
grew.
don't know how you do it all.
I know how you grew, and you know, so I do have a confidence in you too.
Ditto.
Okay.
Ditto.
Phil?
Both of you, yes. Nothing this evening.
I'm surprised you made it through without talking about the Warriors football game that happened.
Try to avoid that one on Friday night. Didn't quite go our way.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll wait for a few weeks when we're
Wait
back
for
at
it.
home.
No, this is the time of year where our small town really starts to pop. Once Thunder on the Mountain hits, it is non-stop events between now and Christmas, and it's just wonderful to see all these lovely events and people downtown. So.
I know I have to choose the mayor's favorite car on Thunder on the Mountain. I'm not looking forward to it.
It's the hard walk around with me.
Oh, I'll walk around with you.
It's the hardest thing I
But you
did when
cannot
I
pick
was
the
in
same
Hater.
car.
I'll keep her focused.
Yes, that's probably a
Gotta
great
walk with a
idea.
purpose.
Well,
There we
the
go.
trophies are being handmade by J.R. Long,
Oh,
and it took him 3 weeks to pick out the colors for those trophies. I mean,
Oh, wow.
it's a serious event.
Hey, it was tough last year, that
yes, it is.
competition, brutal.
But anyhow, that's it for me, Mayor.
Okay, and then, like I said, I went by several of the parks today, especially, Boyer Park, to look at the equipment, and our parks are beautiful.
Yeah.
And I thank TVRPD and the city for maintenance of the parks. I mean, they were green, it was beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And then I can see a lot of construction going in my area of Old Valley Foods. I'm not sure really what's going in there. Is it
It's a
gonna be
small
like a
office
mini mart?
building, yeah. So they've been working on it for quite a while.
And then the huge 76 gas station going in across the freeway there, it's pretty big. So I'm anxious to see how that turns out, so. Okay, anything else?
Did you go on the mud run?
No. That's all I need with my knees to go on the run. I could be in the mud.
Gee, did you go on that?
Did you, Phil? No.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's what we have
Those
to
days
ask.
are in the rearview mirror.
adjourned.